Hey neighbors, Brent here, coming to you from my car because I am actually in transit to a Porch. I'm driving to Beaumont today to spend the day doing pre-site visits for our Army mission trip. It's the high school mission trip this summer in July where hundreds of high school kids and adults will head over. We're heading to Beaumont where we'll show up on the front porches of people we've never met before to do work for them, to build a wheelchair ramp or a front porch or do some minor construction repairs, paint part of their house. And I'm headed over there today to meet these families for the first time. There's actually, I think, 3 or 4 of us heading over to meet with a number of families, to let them know that we're coming, to make a checklist of the ways that we can serve them best. But more than anything, to get to know them, to begin to hear their stories, to let them know that when we arrive this summer, we're coming not just to do construction projects, not just to do a project that maybe they are physically incapable of doing anymore, but we're coming to reveal to them the love of God. We're coming to serve them as Jesus has served us. It's an opportunity to put into action the things that we've talked about for the last 6 weeks in our sermon series about how we've been trying to become love. We talked a lot about how God calls us to love Him with everything we've got and to love our neighbors ourselves, but to celebrate that Jesus, when He talks about love, He didn't just talk about it, but He revealed it. He performed acts of love. He poured Himself out as a love sacrifice so that we might have the love of God resurrected within us, within our spirit. And so that's what this summer trip will be about, is going to live out this love that we have received in such great measure. I can't help but think back on this past Sunday. It's Easter Sunday. It's the pastor's favorite Sunday because everybody, the family, comes all home. And the cafeteria was packed, of course, packed in a way that it's never packed throughout the year. Every church in America was packed in a way that on other Sundays, for one reason or another, it's not quite as full. So we celebrate those days when the room is full and the ears are open and the hearts are ready to receive what God has for them, maybe a new word, a new challenge. And we talked about the resurrection story of Jesus showing up on the beach to call His fishermen back in off the boat, to encourage them to throw their net to the other side where they caught this miraculous catch of fish, 153 fish. But I talked about this a little on Sunday, but it was a tee-up to our next sermon series that begins this week. And that was, as I placed myself in the story, and pictured being Peter on that boat, or Nathaniel from Cana on that boat, or the sons of Zebedee on that boat, and picturing them sitting out there in the familiarity of the water, fishing the way that many of them had been fishermen most of their lives, and just thinking about how Peter on that boat was maybe hoping that he would have another chance to make good on his relationship with Jesus, that have an opportunity to apologize to Jesus for the time that he had just betrayed Him or just pretended that he didn't know Him. Of all the time that he and Jesus spent together on that boat, I think about the Zebedee boys and how they sat on that boat, maybe remembering the time when they first met Jesus, how Jesus had shown up to say, "Hey guys, you need to leave this fishing thing behind and leave your dad behind and come and follow me." Or maybe Nathaniel was from Cana in Galilee. Maybe Nathaniel was sitting on that boat remembering that day when Jesus turned water to wine. There's something about memory. There's something about recalling those moments where we've spent time with Jesus or where we've witnessed the power of Jesus showing up in our lives or in the lives of others. We're going to draw back on memory over the next 6 weeks in a sermon series we're calling Remember. And we're going to deal not just with our memories of who brought us to the faith, who has nurtured us in the faith, experiences we've had with Jesus in the faith, but we're also going to play on the word remember as a word that also means to bring back together. And so ultimately what we're going to spend our time doing over the next 6 weeks is drawing ourselves back together, collecting the body of God, the family of faith back together with our shared stories, the collected stories, recounting the way our story and the story of God are all in one the same. God wrote a story that knew He would include us long before we knew it would include us. So that's what we're going to celebrate. I hope that you'll join us this coming Sunday. As I joked this past Sunday, the week after Easter is usually the lowest attended Sunday in churches across America. I hope that won't be the case at the Stewart Elementary cafeteria this coming Sunday. So I look forward to seeing you. I need to get off the phone so I can concentrate on my driving to get over to Beaumont safely. But y'all have a great rest of your week. God bless you. Take care. Bye-bye.